Capcom has been hitting home run after home run for like the past 6 or 7 years now.
While I'm confident in their future lineup, perhaps their winning streak might not be as clean when it comes to some upcoming games like Dead Rising Remastered and maybe even Monster Hunter Wilds, the one I personally got to play. First, the good parts. The core concept of man versus nature feels even more pronounced than in prior Monster Hunter games, even though it's easy to get back into the flow of your preferred weapon quickly if you played one of these games long enough. Starting a new entry should still make you feel cautious and uncertain, and that's still true for Wilds. The new monsters, especially the bear creature from the trailers, not only look very menacing thanks to a sick art direction, those bear things in particular became even more imposing by attacking in larger packs now. And as it should be, these monsters did not give up easily, and it took at least 10 to 20 minutes to repel them in the demo with 4 players. On top of that, there seems to be an even bigger focus on the forces of your natural surroundings, at least within the desert stage that was playable and which appears quite a bit larger than the maps of Monster Hunter World, because the atmosphere intensified when lightning started to strike the sands or when greasy lizards started to attach themselves to the big bears, which then tried to fend them off. I played the Greatsword, which felt pretty much like it did in World. However, I wasn't yet able to fully grasp the new focus feature. You apparently need to hit sore spots on the monster, then attack them while holding the left shoulder button. It was hard to tell when these spots would appear, but I'm not gonna complain about a learning curve in Monster Hunter. Which brings me to one irritation I had with the demo of Wilds, which I hope isn't as prevalent in the final game, and that is the new mount. Conveniently, riding this not chocobo makes it much easier to chase down monsters while managing items. However, the mount was also able to locate the main quest monster right at the beginning of the mission and run there without any player input. You can control the bird, but it will automatically move if you don't press anything. Call me crazy, but I liked the hunting aspect in Monster Hunter. I get it, the oldest series games could be overbearing, making you equip individual maps, breakable tools and paintballs to track the monster. Finding that too cumbersome is fine, because Monster Hunter World found a very nice balance between quality of life and its hunting nature, by making you spot tracks in the environment before leading you to a monster. It was easier and actually gave it more of a hunting feel than in the old games, where you really couldn't tell where the monster was at all. However, the new mount is the kind of hand-holding that might just tilt the balance a little too much. Exploring and monster tracking feels pretty much redundant that way, and it felt more like a sick arena monster fighting game, less like monster hunting. Previews of Dead Rising also suggest that more lenient balancing and assist features break the old game's structure and atmosphere. Capcom in the last generation did a great job keeping the nature of their oldest franchises intact, but fine-tuning them enough for modern gaming habits.
Dead Rising could be the first miss, which didn't quite balance these new features right by dumbing down things too much, and this new, admittedly minor detail in Wilds isn't something I appreciate either. Yeah, they did suggest that this automated tracking could be turned off, but with this kind of handholding, usually the missions and levels are designed around it, even if you can turn it off. Not to mention that optional handholding features in other franchises eventually became the default mode, and I don't want a Monster Hunter series where the hunting is slowly sorted out.
However, I have, of course, only played a single demo, from which it isn't possible to tell how complex the quest objectives actually will be outside of combat. And again, combat itself is more of what has worked in Monster Hunter World, except even more ambitious in its production.